On this episode of Citizens, we talk to Marc Deveault, a retired medic with the Canadian military whose love of special effects started sculpting for veterans. We'll find out why he felt this open-door program for other comrades was needed, where he'd like to see it go in the future, and what big projects he's working on now. Today, I met up with Marc Deveault in Kingston, Nova Scotia. Marc had started a workshop called Sculpting for Veterans to help others, like him, who suffer from post-traumatic stress disorder. I wanted to find out more about the program and where the interest for special effects had come from.
Deveault Effects is basically a special effects makeup studio. We do everything in-house. So if you want a monster, or if you want a blood gag, or if you want a dead animal, do it now, you come and see us. Special effects makeup is really a prototyping kind of business, because you're creating something that's never been created. Either a monster, an animal, or fiction or real. Like you have to bring it to life. You have to give it something to like spark it.
How did you find out about sculpting and movie making and that sort of stuff?
Younger, I watched Thriller on VHS, because back then it was VHS and beta. And at the end, you had all the making of. Mm-hmm. And Thriller, they showed Rick Baker basically doing everything from scratch and like just building up to the shooting. And I was young, and I'm like, oh, that's what I'm gonna do. And I joined the military, and then I retired 20 years later. And then I'm starting it now. Well, It's been 10 years, but this one. Mm-hmm. Who would not love to do like crazy stuff like that? And you just get up in the morning, oh, I'm just gonna do a dead person today, or oh, today I'm just gonna do eyes or teeth, or it helps mentally. For me, it helps. Like I need something to go on.
Why is it therapeutic for you to sculpt and make stuff?
I'm a veteran, and I have PTSD, and you never know how you're gonna wake up. Like a normal people would wake up like 0, 1, 2 stress level. When they wake up in the morning. Most of us wake up with a 6. So the stress that you have, normal stress that you have during the day, for us, it's like twice as much. Like our fuse is dry and short. Right. Just because we don't start at the same level as somebody normal. Each day it's the Russian roulette. And what it's gonna be today? Is it hypervigilance? Is it depression? Is it anxiety? Is it anger? Is it... You never know. So when I have something coming up, like feeling-wise, I just come downstairs. The fact that I'm sculpting and painting and do all those mechanical things, animatronics and stuff, it just keeps your mind occupied, tones you down, stress level goes down. And really, you're creating something. Like it's been proven in the States with veterans that they call it mask class, and you basically learn how to sculpt the mask.
With sculpting for veterans, do you teach how to do the models and stuff like that to your students?
I started with a face, a block of clay. Basic tools, like really basic tools. And I just started. I try to do as much as I can here. I invite people to come. And it's open for everybody. All they have to do is just send me an email, When are you open? When can I go? I want to try, and I'll make a spot just for them.
Mark, what have been some of the student reactions to sculpting?
It's either it helped that day for something that's not related to sculpting. Getting out of the house, meeting people, driving. Just those things for some of us is like massive. So if just the fact they show up, they make a commitment, they show up, for me it's good. Trying to branch out now to try to get some sponsors to help me out and go to those guys who needs it the most. Because like I have PTSD, but believe me, like I don't have a big one.
Why is it so important for you to make the cost so minimal for participants?
I signed a blind check for 20 years. I could have been killed anytime. They don't need to pay anything.
Could you tell me how you went out and met Bruno and what your experiences have been like working with him?
Bruno, I met him through UN NATO Motorcycle Association. He lived not far from here, and once in a while he would come down and he would see like the stuff I was doing, and he would like pitch in or give me ideas or vice versa. And then when I put that program together, he did it with his wife. He's the same way, he has PTSD, and he had the class. And he, like, every time I have a project, like, he's excited. Like, it kind of brings us back to that place when we were in the military, like that high speed, like it's short, precise, concise, to the point.
Do you have any apprentices right now that you're working with?
Cassie C. Boyer, she is great at costuming, hair work, fur work, feather work. Like, she's the animal queen. And I have Brandon. He's just started. Love that kid. Like, everything that's mold making and stuff. He's great. Really, my door's open to anybody, and I'm willing to give you all the information you want. But anybody that wants to come to the shop, wants to discuss stuff, or they have a project, like I do stuff for cosplayers, medical professionals, contact me, send me an email. If you have a question, I'll answer. If I don't have it, I'll find it.
So Mark, if anybody can do sculpting, would you mind showing me a few tips of the trade? Awesome. Yeah, I mean, I've never done it before, so I'm super fascinated in how...
Anybody can sculpt. If I can sculpt, anybody can.
All right. Next up on Citizens. Mark talks about the future of sculpting for veterans. And he shows me some of the basics as I get to try my hand at the art. After hearing Mark's story and why he had opened his door to other veterans, I wanted to find out more about the need of workshops like sculpting for veterans in our communities. Where do you hope to see sculpting for veterans go in the future?
If they could have one in every major cities at least, going on once, twice a year, that would be awesome. And some of those guys too, they come to the workshop. Like, I have one guy, he just came, sat, had coffee, chit-chat all day, didn't sculpt, he didn't want to sculpt. Went back home. But that day, just the fact that he was there outside of his house could have been a major step for him. Just talking to other people, that step could have been major for him.
Yeah.
So it's not just the sculpting, it's just like maybe nudging somebody to get out.
So a big part of it's the atmosphere that comes with the workshop, right?
Yeah.
Like having it be inclusive.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why is that so important for you?
I think it would give them a tool to unload. When you're at that 7 or that 8, that can bring you down to like a 4. Like just that, just like for like 20 minutes, half hour, 3 hours if you want to. But just that time, that just gives that brain a rest, because it's never resting.
To get an idea of what a workshop might be like, I got my first lesson in sculpting.
How do we start to sculpt?
I don't know, how do we?
Well, you first start with an idea. It can be anything. Hence having a shop, well, not a shop, but having a room where you sculpt, where you have like there's stuff everywhere of everything, like a vampire there, a dead body, a wolf there. Like I have stuff everywhere. So today I'm gonna do maybe something alienish. All right, so that get you started. It's a bit like Hellboy. So he has two horns there. So for sure, those have to be higher, right?
Right.
And nothing in nature is straight or symmetrical. Like it's always different. So it's okay to have, not too much, but it's okay to have like a bit of slant, or it just makes it more, I think, it just makes it more natural.
Right.
So he's gonna have a big flat nose.
All right.
All right. So I put my clay on the nose. And right now it doesn't matter because I don't know what it's gonna look like. Because as you put the clay down, what's cool is that most of the time it's actually telling or showing you, this clay don't talk, but it's showing you like how it feels like it has to sit.
It's cool, you can already see the shape of the face is changing already, even with just the foundation piece.
Yeah, and it's just by, like it's that Frankenstein complex, and it's so, I think it's addictive because you're creating something all the time.
Yeah.
That's different, something that nobody's seen, nobody like it, and you bring it to life.
Yeah, yeah.
Performance. So he has a big brow. What else can I do? Well, I can enhance his chin. So play here to enhance his chin. That's when you start your carving.
Okay.
So you have those ones that are really like sharp. And you just scrape through like this, just to unify all that clay, to really like eliminate like, all those big marks, and then refine your shape. Like if I would, let's say he has a wrinkle right here, and again you can't use anything. We'll use that. Like he has a wrinkle here. And then you can take those little things, sunk it in, and then you pull like that on both sides. And it opens up your wrinkle, but in a more natural way, kind of thing. So why don't you take some of plastic, and I want you know, a scar that's always like, especially the scars that are deep, there's always like those little wrinkles that comes off. What you have to
Okay.
everywhere.
Cool.
However you want.
All right. Sounds good.
Don't think about it.
Do you want me to use the plastic too?
Yep.
Okay.
And don't think about it. Doesn't have to be pretty.
Okay. Sounds good.
Because more random it is, actually more natural it looks. Then you go down to pore. Like you actually, like if you look at yourself in the mirror, all those pores around your nose.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to poke those out.
Yeah.
So.
Probably takes a while, doesn't it?
Oh. That's the longest bit.
Yeah.
Pores, what you need to know is some pores are round, but some pores are directional too. Like you have, like if you look at foreheads, you're gonna have more of a linear pore. Well, that's not the tool I use usually, but it's gonna do now. You just tap it like that in the direction of the pore, where the pore would be.
Where's that tool that we were using? Thanks. It's really important to actually practice and learn how to do it, because you make it look so easy. I'm like, oh yeah, I can totally do a line and a pore, and it takes a lot of work to be really good at this for sure. Let's see.
It's an everyday thing, but it's again like it's if you love it, it's not work. It's not.
Yeah.
It's therapeutic.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna need a little bit more practice to get good at this, but I appreciate you taking the time to show me the basics of it.
Well, you know what? For a starter, it's pretty good.
It'll get better. I swear, with more practice, it'll get better.
Everything is better with practice.
Yeah. Next up, on Citizens. I sit down with one of Marc's first Sculpting for Veterans students, Bruno, and we get a closer look at one of their current projects. After speaking with Marc about Sculpting for Veterans, I sat down with one of his first students, Bruno. I wanted to find out about his experiences with the workshops and how he had found himself working on special effects with Marc.
We do a lot of bike riding, Marc and I, so we connected that way, and we had the same interest. I like doing artwork, I do leather work, I do all kinds of stuff, and he likes to do movie stuff, so we sort of connected really well. So, yeah. Marc introduced me to the business, his side of the business and everything, and I fell in love with it. So I started off doing molds and sculpting and all that, and he was teaching me how to sculpt too at the same time. So I got into an interest of it and loved it at the first thing. Because I was a mechanic for 32 years for the forces. So it was a great experience to find something I could use my hands and work with and keep my wits to myself.
Right.
Yeah. So when I'm working in the animation stuff with the Marc and the makeup portion and doing everything, I think of that moment. I don't think of other things.
Beyond sculpting, what else do you do together?
We do makeup together. We're making a bear actually at this time, so for a movie. We do, and what's fun is we start with the person. We start from the beginning to end. We mold the person. We do the prosthesis. We do the makeup. We do everything, and that's what I enjoy. It's all the process that gets you there, you know. So it's long hours, but it's good. Yeah. And that sort of work can be done as a hobby. Why did you choose to pursue it professionally? I chose because Marc sort of helped me into it, you know, into the artistic aspect of it and the business aspect of it. So as a veteran, I always have to keep busy. Right. I got PTSD, so I got to keep busy. I got to keep my mind busy. So why not do something I enjoy? You know, when you don't enjoy doing what you do, you might as well quit. So I enjoy doing this stuff, so I keep on going. So it's a lot of how would I say that? A lot of hard work, and I like the end result. You know, and it's pretty cool because we actually worked on Frontier together. So when you're sitting and watching the movie actually, and you see something you've built at the movie, it's like, hey, I did that, you know, and it's a lot of fun, you know. So it's the happiness of doing this stuff. Yeah. But you know what? It's what we like about working with Marc. It's a team thing, and in the Army we learn to be a team. So we get to learn to work with different type of people. So it's a lot of fun. So you learn with different people. Yeah, you learn off of them. They learn off of you, and at the end of the day, you get a positive outcome. You know, and that's what you're looking for. We're all working for the same thing. It's good. When I'm doing that, I don't think of anything else. So I don't think of my nightmares. I don't think of when I went to Bosnia, I don't think of that stuff. I just think of the moment. So you're in that moment, and that's what takes away from the rest of the stress of the world. You know, to us, it's just because when in our the way we perceive stuff is we always feel persecuted. We always feel, you know, at a low. So when we're doing this, we're actually doing something for us. So, and that's like me when I got PTSD. It's like the wife said, you got buried into your work. So I was doing 72 hours a week working. So, but when I started doing this stuff, I just concentrate on that moment. You know?
And how's Marc as an instructor?
No, it's phenomenal. We have a lot of fun. Now, him and I think we clicked really good because I make fun of him, he makes fun of me. And that's a lot of fun. And I can read Marc a little bit. So if he's got a down day, I'll go to the shop. Instead of doing something, I'll say, hey, let's clean the shop. You know, and then we'll clean the shop. And then he'd look at me at the end of the day and say, I needed that. You know, and we could be in the shop not saying a word. It could be we're just cleaning and we're not saying a word to each other. It's just, I needed that. That was it. And then when we start off the next day and we carry on, you know, he's a phenomenal man, great father. His son, oh my God, can't say anything bad about men. He's a lovable little kid. So, but and he enjoys life. Marc likes what he's doing, and you can see he's passionate about it. You know? And he's there to help other veterans.
Bruno, what do you think motivates Marc to do the kind of work that he does?
I think Marc, what motivates him a lot is that it's to see how the people leave after they've done it. It's the outcome. Marc wants to get the people out of the houses, wants them to do something, and by doing the sculpting, it helps them out. And it's, you know, it helped me. So, you know, and Marc, Esprit de Corps is our motto in the Army. Is we work all together as a team, and if one soldier falls, we pick him up, and that's what Marc's trying to do. He's trying to pick up the soldiers and help him out, and I think it's a good thing, you know. And I think that's what motivates him to get up in the morning and do the sculpting for veterans.
What would you say to somebody that might be interested in joining sculpting for veterans but isn't quite sure if it's right for them?
I'd say come out. Just come and try it. You have to try it. You can't say it's not for you until you try something. It's like trying a new dish. You can't say it's not good if you never tried it. So this is the same thing. Sculpting with veterans with Marc is phenomenal. And people should just come and try it. To me, at the end of the day, I'm in a better mood when I do it. When I leave there, the days are better, you know. So it's good for you. You know, and it gets you out of the house.
Then I had the chance to observe some of Marc's latest work, the bear. Post-traumatic stress disorder affects people in different ways, but for many veterans, the effects from military service are daily and often unpredictable. Sculpting for veterans is a way of continuing to help service members with a judgment-free zone to sculpt, paint, or just talk. Marc's services are not therapy, but are definitely therapeutic, and a much-needed resource for many military men and women who may have left the war but are still struggling to find peace. If you're interested in trying sculpting for veterans or would like to help sponsor this wonderful program, you can contact Marc via email at marc@defoefx.com.